A quarterback in a team that I'm high on, the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, he returned to practice after getting surgery last week to repair the ligament in his left thumb. Love is not taking the first-team reps, though, to protect his thumb, but LaFleur has a plan to get him some work ahead of Week 1.
Just went through everything. We're going to alter some things to allow him to get involved. Do my favorite 7-on-7 that I absolutely despise, but in some instances, it's good. So I'd rather have him do that than just throw on air. So we'll incorporate some 7-on-7 into practice.
Yeah, Matt's not a 7-on-7 guy. A lot of. By the way, he loves a good, tough, physical run game. So it probably is the antithesis of everything he believes in. Yeah, this has been to me the mystery team. The Rams are a little bit of that, but that's just because of Stafford's health. I keep going back to this. The whole division's been noisy all off season. Lions lose both coordinators. Bears are just noisy with Caleb and Ben. The J.J. McCarthy, Minnesota stuff. Green Bay, some of it's a small market, but I've heard nothing. It has been silent. And that leads me to believe, generally when it's quiet, you're either keeping really good secrets from people that you don't want them to know, like people are developing, or the fact is you've got everybody on the same page. And I think this team really likes and respect. You know, it's still, John, I think that either the youngest or the second youngest team for the third year in a row.
I'm high on the Packers. I'm picking them to win the division. This does make me a little nervous. I mean, what kind of derailed their season last year? He got hurt Week 1. So you get an injury. Now, we still got a couple weeks, but this division's hard. They're going to go. I mean, part of the reason their passing game last year wasn't great. Now, he did a great job with Malik Willis. They've proven they can win regular season games with Malik Willis. But if they're going to win this division, they need Jordan Love, let's face it, to be a Pro Bowl level quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, only one great quarterback didn't make the playoffs. I mean, the one thing that guarantees you're going to be a playoff team almost across the line is offensive coach and really good quarterback. That almost guarantees you. I mean, look at what Minnesota did last year with Sam Darnold, who we thought was done. So a Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur, if you just say that out loud, elite offensive coach, really talented quarterback, that should be a playoff team.
We're going to learn a lot about them. I mean, open up with the Lions, and then you get Washington. If you're 2-0, we're going to call them one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
If they lose one of those games, we're going to have serious questions.
Yeah. I feel so validated right now. Because when I was talking about the Packers and the Jordan Love injury, I said the injury itself isn't the biggest deal, but it's in terms of it's an obstacle that you now has to change how you're going to practice, how you're going to go all about this. And, you know, I really want to see Jordan Love and this offense feel connected, feel on time, feel like they're in sync with one another, because they were out of sync all last year. And for the most part, a lot of people agreed with what I said, and some pushback were like, oh, you know, you're being ridiculous. His thumb's fine. Don't make something out of nothing. And now Matt LaFleur is like, he's not playing with the ones. And then we're doing 7-on-7 work, which Matt LaFleur himself says he hates. He despises. So he's not practicing with the ones, and then the work that he is doing, the coach himself hates. So you're not able to actually do the practices that your own coach wants you to do a couple weeks leading into Week 1 against a division rival, the Detroit Lions. So, like, that's really what I was trying to outline more than anything. And don't take my word for it. Literally take the head coach Matt LaFleur's word for it, right? Like, you don't want 2 weeks outside the season to have your coach be like, yeah, I'm essentially not doing the practice and putting in the work that I want to do with my starting quarterback. Coming off a season where our offense with our quarterback, because of injuries and whatnot, was completely disconnected. The whole season, it was like we were playing on ice and we were slipping and sliding all over the place, and we could just never get our footing. And so it's just, you in a lot of ways, I wanted to see the Green Bay Packers take the Cincinnati Bengals approach, where it's like, we're going all in on making sure that by Week 1, we are connected, we are ready, our chemistry is through the roof, our understanding of what we need to do offensively, our communication, everything. We all understand what we need to do. We're going to be able to play on time, in sync, in rhythm. Like, it's just going to be textbook here, because we have the coach, we have the roster, we have the quarterback, we have the ability to do it, we have the experience now, We have the veterans who are getting more and more mature, so it's like, this isn't new for us anymore. Let's get after it. And something like this is it's just enough to just disrupt that. And again, I want to be very clear. When I'm talking about disruption, it's not like I'm saying season's over, Packers are done, pack it up, it's over. Like, that's not what I'm arguing. It's just they were not able to reach their potential last year, specifically because they just couldn't put it together. Just like the Cincinnati Bengals, that team was significantly better than what they put out there. Significantly better. And so they went all in this offseason to be like, we are making sure we are in sync and in rhythm from the jump. We're not messing around anymore. And I appreciate that. I respect that. You're acknowledging that there's a problem and you're getting after it. And that's what I wanted to see from the Green Bay Packers. And then this just disrupts this more than you would want. Listen, if the Packers lose one of their first 2 games, like John Middlecoff's like, oh, we'll have some serious questions about them. No, he won't. The Commanders should be a great team and the Lions should be a great team. Like, I mean, if they lose to the Cowboys and the Browns, then we could have some serious questions. Then we could be like, well, what's going on here, right? Then I could be like, oh, man, what the heck is this? But, I mean, if they go 1-1, heck, even if they just go 2-2 in their first 4 games, listen, I'm expecting them to be able to definitely beat the Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns. Then if you split 1-1, right, then you're 3-1. Right? And I'm like, okay, that's great. And the Cincinnati Bengals, I always like to go with the very easy wins and the very easy losses, not predictions, not saying that it can't go other way. It's just make it as basic as possible and take an easy win, take an easy loss. And so if, let's say you just go 1-1 to start off the season, so you go 3-1 is, I think, a completely realistic for those first 4 weeks. Let's say you lose the Bengals, beat the Cardinals, beat the Steelers, beat the Saints, beat the Panthers, I'm all over the place right now, lose the Eagles, beat the Giants, and then again, you're talking about another division round, so it's like, even if you just split the division again, split at least once against the Bears, once against the Vikings, kind of a toss-up between me right now with the Broncos and the Packers right now. They're so similar in terms of where they're at with the progression of their franchise as a whole. Say you lose to the Ravens, like, that's a lot of wins, man. That's a lot of wins right there. I mean, just like that, off of like just the basic, again, bare bottom, not predictions at all. It's like 10, 11 wins. And again, like anything, there's a great chance that you win a game that you shouldn't have won and you lose a game that you shouldn't have lost, right? Like that happens every single year for every single team, oftentimes multiple times, right? You absolutely roll the Eagles for whatever reason. You absolutely just play amazing and roll, and then the next week you lose to the Giants 14-12, and it's like, what the heck was that? How did you just beat the first place team and then you just lost to the team that's playing for a top 3 draft pick next year? That's the way this thing goes all too often. But I mean, yeah, I think the schedule is actually pretty great for them. If the health-wise changed a little bit, ideally, you wouldn't want to play the Detroit Lions week 1 with Jordan Love, who's like recovering from a literal surgery. But I mean, the Lions and the Commanders, totally winnable, and you're going to be playing the Lions. It's going to be their first game with both their coordinators. I mean, like, that's pressure, man. Those coordinators feel that pressure big time. Make no mistake about it. They feel that pressure big time. The Commanders, I mean, what's going on with Terry McLaurin? You don't have all those answers quite yet. Cleveland Browns and Cowboys, again, if you can't beat those teams, well, then you're just simply not as great as I think you are. Again, I always leave room for you to lay an egg and have a bad moment, but like, when we're talking about just schedule prediction, it's like, if you can't beat them, well, then I don't know who you are in the first place. I think a Bengals-Packers game is going to be a great game. Cardinals, again, better beat them. Steelers, it's going to be fascinating to see what the Steelers are, but I still have to go with the Packers over the Steelers. Again, Carolina Panthers, it's got to be a win. It's just a lot of wins, man. I think the schedule is actually pretty fair for them. You don't look at the schedule and be like, oh my gosh, do you see this 5-week stretch? Like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Like, you don't get that sense anywhere here. I mean, you really don't. You have what should be a couple tough games to start off the season. And then you should have followed by a couple easy games, and even some of your easy games on the road, like against the Cleveland Browns. And normally maybe on the road against Dallas would be a little bit tougher, but like, again, they shouldn't be this great top elite team. So it's just like even having to deal with them on the road is like, all right, that's, we could embarrass them on the road. And then the Bengals, which should be a lot better, they got to go on the road by week 6. It should probably start getting cold by then, I assume, right? Yeah. The Cardinals, Steelers, I mean, I don't know. I see a lot of wins there. I can totally see why you would pick the Packers to win the division, but I still think it's going to be a pretty big fight between, in the NFC North. I'm not coming off of my gauntlet take. All last year, I just kept saying the NFC North is a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet. And I just, I still see all 4 of these teams finding themselves to be pretty competitive. And at the very least, I at least see the divisional games being competitive. And that's what then always signals to me when I look at a team like the Vikings and the Packers playing each other week 18. I just always ask myself, how much does that game matter? How much does that game matter? And the Ravens could be in a position to try to get the number 1 seed as well, potentially. And so it's like, how much does week 17 matter to them? Or the way how unfolds, the Bills or the Chiefs have the 1 seed. And so the Ravens are already locked up. Like it could be, this is where it's always interesting because the Ravens might be battling with the Bengals to win the division. And that week 17 game could be huge. And now it's like, but you are at home, like those final 2 games, 17 and 18, against the Ravens and the Vikings have the potential to be really important games against, like, especially a Ravens team, a really great team, where they could be nothing, right? The for all we know, the Vikings are packing it in, and they shut JJ McCarthy down because this season is just not happening for them. Or that final game of the season is all about sneaking into the wild card war, like it was last year, to win the division. Like it's you never really know with those types of games, and the NFL always tries their best to stick that landing, and it always ends up being an absolute home run where it all comes down to that final game, and you're like, let's go. Or it literally means nothing, and you're just like, we don't even need to play our starters here. So those final 2 games can be pretty tough to predict, honestly. But I think if it was all going to come down to one final game for the Packers in that week 18, going up against the Vikings instead of a team like the Lions or even the Bears is a huge luxury, I think. Obviously on the road, so it's Minnesota's gonna not be the easiest thing, but I don't know, man. If that game actually really matters, and let's say you're both fighting for the division or you're fighting for a wild card spot, whatever it is, talk about Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur, again, veterans at this point to a degree, been around the NFL for a long time, going up against maybe a potentially winner take all against a rookie quarterback, essentially a glorified rookie quarterback, JJ McCarthy. Like experience has to prevail at some point. And like I said, and if it doesn't, well, then you're not the team that you or I think you are. So, and I like those moments, honestly, where it's just like, you're either who you're supposed to be or not, right? Like no explanation needed. You either got it or you don't. Yes or no. Which is it? And I think there's a handful of games throughout this season that really highlight that. And we get it in the first 4 weeks. We get it in the first 4 weeks. And I love it. You're going to play some great teams. You're going to play some team that potentially took a step back. And you're going to play some teams that you should absolutely win convincingly and comfortably and confidently. So in those first 4 weeks, man, we're going to get a great reference point as to what the heck is this team. So I'm excited for it. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Green Bay Packers? Matt LaFleur having to work around Jordan Love's injury, as well as how great you think they can be, especially to start off the season. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.